back to the forecast now, tracking some severe storms this evening.
Yeah, for more on what's happening outside, here's Brad.
Yeah, Vanessa and Bill, we've got a big storm here in northeast Mecklenburg County. This storm is the only warning we have right now, but you can see the outflow boundaries kind of colliding here. This is your classic microburst. I got a picture on Instagram. I couldn't flip it around quick enough, but a great photographer here in Charlotte caught this thing. It basically a column of rain hitting the ground and spreading out, look like a bell, and that's your classic downburst. So it's right there in that area. In fact, the Doppler wind showed it. Now, at one point I had it tracking here, but I'm going to go up a little bit further north because in this spot right here, this is 485, heading up towards Harrisburg and the track area, not too far from the IKEA and the university area. There was a 54, 55 mile an hour wind going away from the radar, and then back this way we had 30, 40 mile an hour winds going on. So we kind of call these splats because the air actually hits the ground like water and spreads out in all directions. Now, it is aided by rainfall, and that helps produce those really strong winds. We've also got a cluster of very strong storms pretty much from Cabarrus County up into Rowan County. So these are going to be around for a while, and if you're under them, you can see it come out of almost nowhere, it'll feel like, because they'll burst and really cause that quick rush of air coming out of the storm, and then it'll dissipate. Now, these wet microbursts often happen in the summertime because you're taking 95-degree air with lots of humidity. You're lifting it up here. It's getting super cool. There's some dry air that causes evaporative cooling, and cold air is heavy and dense. It wants to come crashing back to the ground, so it comes down, splats out in all directions, and it's sometimes, not in this case, thankfully, you can see winds up to 150 miles an hour. These cause more damage to our area than tornadoes. About 90% of our wind damage comes from a downburst or a microburst. It's really not a tornado that you got to worry about sometimes in the summer here. Lower to mid 90s out there right now. It is a hot afternoon. Feels like it's 100 degrees. We actually touched 95 today. Tomorrow we'll see temperatures start the day in the 70s, so another scorcher, and it'll look a lot like today. But tonight, skies will clear out, that we should get a picture or two, at least visible, of the Perseid meteor shower after midnight to sunrise. That's your best time frame. But if you can get closer to sunrise, that's the best time. Just find the darkest spot you can, even near the city. If you can get towards a park or away from a street light, you're going to have a better idea just to look straight up, let your eyes adjust, and get a chance to see those meteors tonight. Because skies will clear. You can see overnight they do clear out. Might be hazy at times, but these storms will dissipate. Tomorrow afternoon they bubble back up, but they'll dissipate again tomorrow night. So Friday morning's another opportunity. And then Friday afternoon, more storms develop into Saturday afternoon as well. This is a pretty active pattern. In fact, very wet pattern for the next 5 days. It gets progressively wetter as we go into next week. By Sunday, Monday, you notice rain chances and the coverage start to really spread out. And part of the reason is we could get some added moisture from Fred. But I'll be honest with you, Fred may not be the only thing that causes our heavy rainfall. What's steering Fred is going to cause our heavy rainfall. Fred's going to move up here in the eastern part of the Gulf, eventually moving up here. But the reason it's moving that direction is the same reason it's going to be so wet around here. High pressure off the east coast, trough of low pressure back to the west is funneling moisture into the Carolinas, and the mountains will act like a stalled front, lifting this air, creating showers and storms. So long before we even get the remnants of Fred up here, we're going to see heavy rain most of next week. In some areas over the next 7 days could see 7 to 10 inches of rain in the mountains. So be on guard. We could see some heavy rain up there and possibly flash flooding next week. Tomorrow will be another hot one. Temperatures in the 80s with pop-up storms, low to mid 90s across the lower elevations. Again, before the storms fire up, it will be a sauna out there tomorrow, and it'll stay that way through Saturday. But next week, because of the increasing cloud cover and shower activity, temperatures will actually be cooler back into the 80s, but we could see some really heavy rain for most of next week.